That triangle is the human mind. And let's just say this top 10%, nothing magical about these numbers, okay? But let's say the top 10% of your mind is your conscious mind. Am I blocking anybody? Can everybody see okay?
Does everybody have paper?
No.
Okay.
Anyone like some paper?
The top 10% of our mind is called our, somebody say it. Your conscious mind. Let's find out what that is. We're going to undo all this programming, and we're going to get a whole lot of it done in about 20, 30 minutes. Is that all right with you? It's no big deal, because the genius in all of you will be activated today. What color is the top of the tablecloth? How do you know that? They told you that, but you can what? You can see it. That's right. The temperature in the room is real pleasant, so I would say it's about 71, 72. How do we know that? We can feel it, can't we? You all know what I'm saying right now. Why? Because you can hear me. Okay. Anything that you are aware of that comes through your five senses and your present thoughts, that's your conscious mind. Watch how it works, you all. What are you thinking right now, my friend? Oh man, you would call on me. What's in your mind right now, brother? What's your name?
Doug. My name is Doug.
Doug, what is in your mind right this second? Just tell us right now. What are you thinking about? Close your eyes and tell us what's in your mind right now.
What you were saying up on the board.
Okay, very good. Tell us right now. What's in your mind right now?
About the conscious mind.
About the conscious mind. What is in your mind, brother?
Conscious mind.
Conscious mind. Whatever is in your mind right this second, that's your conscious mind. That's easy, isn't it? No big deal. No big... But guess what, y'all? That ain't what gets us in trouble. About 90% of what's in your mind is in your... Somebody help me out. Your unconscious, and some people call it subconscious, don't they? That's okay. We'll let these two terms be used this morning. There's a little difference really in the two. Okay, and I'll try to explain that, but basically right now, let's talk about the conscious and unconscious mind, okay? Oh, Lord. What's going on in your head, 90% is in the unconscious mind. Y'all, that's why we say things like, I'm going to save some money, and we get our little bank statement, we get an uncontrollable urge to go shopping. Unconscious mind. That's why you will hear an African American say, black people, they.
Yeah.
We're the only ethnic group in the world that refers to ourselves as they.
That's right.
Jews will say, we Jews do this. Italians say, you know how we Italians are, or you know how we Catholics are, but we're the only people that say, your problem with black people is they. It's an unconscious separation. Because they are doing it all wrong, and I, of course, don't do anything wrong, so I can't be one of them. Unconscious mind. Why do you think we're only jealous of each other? We don't get jealous of nobody else. An Asian can come in, I'm not mad at the Asians. They come in, open a store in our community, poor. 10 years later, find out they own a big house somewhere and have a big car, and their kids are going to a nice college, and we'll see them get all that in our neighborhood. And the Asians are smart and industrious. But you let a brother open up a business. Or a sister walk into a meeting with a beautiful diamond and a nice coat, and she's now CEO of a company. Child, she thinks she's all over.
That's right.
Unconscious mind. How about this one? How many times have you told yourself, like the first of the year, I'm going to either stop smoking, I'm going to lose some weight, I'm going to do this, I'm going to stop hollering at my husband, or whatever, right? You are you are resolved to stop it in your conscious mind.
Right.
But because it was a weak order, and the conscious mind gives orders, yes it does, it has no memory, but it gives orders. That's its power. Y'all with me? But in that unconscious mind, we're going to talk about it in a few minutes, is a thing called our self-concept. In the self-concept, I got to think my husband stay in his place. Boom. In the unconscious mind, I ain't think about these folks. I love food, and I am fat, and I'm going to be fat. In the unconscious mind, I don't need to start working. Ain't nothing wrong with me. My mother lived to be 75. She never worked out. Boom. The unconscious mind, all that stuff down there. The conscious mind said, wait a minute, I told her about losing weight. Here, this 4 months later. I ain't even start working out yet. With me? My friends, there is a statement. Oh, there's so much profundity in African literature and history. There's a profound maxim that says, if I can conquer the demons from within. The demons outside can do me no harm. Are y'all with me? Unconscious mind. Well, if it's that powerful, then you say, well, what the hell is it? Well, the first thing you want to know about the unconscious mind, my friends, is it's a tape recorder. Are y'all with me? From the time that the auditory nerves were formed in your head when you were still inside your mommy, soon as those auditory nerves were formed and your little ears were formed, you start hearing things. Hello? Where's that little angel I saw a few minutes ago? That little baby, look how little that baby is. That little baby has already stored thousands of bits of information. That child, hello, I can look at the love on the mother and the father's face and tell that child already is getting some esteem boosting. I know it already. And I'll just bet you, looking at the two of you, that when that baby was inside, somebody was saying, oh, we can't wait for you to come out. We love you. You're going to be so special. I'll just bet that baby was getting those messages. True or false? Yeah, they were talking to the baby's unconscious mind. Let me tell you what the Kennedys did one time. I know we hear a lot about the Kennedys. After Teddy Kennedy lost the presidential nomination, 1980, y'all remember that, running against Jimmy Carter? This reporter said, Mrs. Kennedy, I'd like to know what was going on in the Kennedy compound. One son became president, two was almost ready to get the nomination, Robert Kennedy, 68, and then Teddy went, what were you saying to your children? It made them think they could be president of the United States. What was going on up there? A lot of folks want to give the credit to old man Joe Kennedy. This reporter was smart enough to know that the hand that rocks the cradle truly rules the world. So then I asked the mother. This is what she said, y'all. Check this out. We're talking about the unconscious mind. She said when they brought the babies to her, she said it to all of them. You will not only influence your family and friends, you will influence mankind forever. I don't know about you, but I don't think she probably said some similar things all of their youthful lives. What do you think? My friends, unconscious mind. How does it affect us? There is an unconscious mind in each of us, and then there's a group unconscious mind called the collective unconscious in all of us. This group of people in this room right now, we have one mind. We have individual minds, but we have one mind, right? It's like if you had a big pail of water and you went and dumped, 12 cups of that water out. The essence of that water is in each cup. True or false? That's the way it is with us. In our unconscious minds, let me tell you what has to be there. Even if you think I'm the most Afrocentric, pro-black, positive entrepreneur, keep me stuck by white racism, I'm on fire, I'm super. Somewhere in that great, great, great ambition still has to be some residue of white racism's indoctrination. And you will, every now and then, even with your most positive state, you'll hear you say things like, why can't black folks show up for time? I've been to enough meetings with white people, they don't all come on time.
That's right.
I want us to be on time, don't get me wrong, but I'm saying, why do we make the ones who, the most progressive, somewhere deep down inside sometimes, if you don't believe it, check it out on yourself. Somebody walks up to you and says, guess what? I sold 3 houses, and I guess what? My uncle who passed gave me a check for $50,000 and start going on and on about your success. And the most positive black person you know, deep down inside, be going, damn, I don't want to hear no more about this. Conscious mind, you have told yourself that's wrong. I've been conditioned to be jealous of black people. I don't want to be jealous no more. But down deep in there, girl, why don't you go home and get nothing else to do, huh? You just keep on wearing me out. I'm out here trying to make it, huh? I ain't getting nobody call me back. Things ain't working for me. My whole life is screwed up. Here you are telling me how wonderful it is. Hush, I don't hear no more. Oh, that's great. I'm really happy for you. You going, girl. Why? In the unconscious mind. Why is that important to a group like this that's obviously motivated? If you're going to be the leaders, right? The leaders have got to be, what? Totally honest with self. That unconscious mind is loaded, my friends. It is loaded. Some of that despised negritude is in all of us. We were shown with the castrations, with the beatings, with the intimidation, with the jailing, with all the things that happened for centuries. We were told, if you are black, you are nothing. And we have been told it so much. and you start talking about building great financial institutions, why do we only own 52 banks in the whole country? We're over 35 million, maybe 40 million, depending on who does the count. How can we, what is it, 13 insurance companies? 2 investment companies? What is going on? In the unconscious mind, there's certain work for the master and certain work for the slave.
Yes, sir.
Slaves don't own banks. True or false? Slaves are not that caring of their families that they will make sure that the child's university is receiving money for the endowment fund. Masters do that. Slaves don't build major manufacturing operations. They work there. They tell folk, like I heard last night, our bank is doing so and so. Our bank? You don't own nothing in there. How did it get to be yours? But you know what? We can't get angry at each other, my friends. We cannot get angry. Why? Because it's in the unconscious mind. It's in the unconscious mind. Once you become aware of the power of the unconscious mind, you learn how to take control of it. That's the next step. Can we do it? Y'all, we're ready. Once this gets in your head, you can't go back. You can't go back. You know why you all? I got to share this with you before I go to the next stage, but this explains everything. The word education comes from the Latin educere. Educere. You know what it means? It means to lead out, to draw out. What I'm trying to do in here today is not about putting my genius in your head. No, my job is to move the curtain so your genius will what? Come out. It's in there. And the unconscious mind is blocking it down in there. You and 99.9% of the rest of us in Cincinnati. Okay, we have got to lead it out. Well, how are we going to do it? Let's take a look at it. What's the next step? I love this stuff, y'all. I love this stuff. Well, it's going to be our liberation. And all of us are liberators, right?
Yes, sir.
There are 4 steps, my friends. Don't write this down. Just let your own mind go with this. The first step towards moving to be a master, and that's what we're working on today. Masters, true or false?
True.
We always were. We just didn't know it.
Yes, sir.
When the folk who call themselves masters, when we were doing everything great imagined with math and building and architecture and everything imagined, they were running around eating raw meat, putting blow paint, living in caves. Would you please tell me how they are the masters and we are the servants? But you see, if folk don't mind blowing people's brains out and don't mind treating human beings like objects, and physical brute force don't mean nothing, and ain't no conscience working up in here, well, you might take control over a superior person's mind then, because most human beings want to live.
That's right.
Black folk love life. So I'm just going to hold this gun to your head. Oh, yeah, I'll do what you want. Yes, sir, boss. What you need? Yes, sir, I'm going to do it. Listen, we have always been masters. All we're going to do this morning is what? Turn it around and draw it out. And if you hear anything that sounds like an exaggeration, just stop me. Say, Mike, that sounds good, but I think you're puffing it up a little bit. Okay? First step, as we move towards becoming masters, the first level is we are unconsciously incompetent. Unconsciously incompetent. In our unconscious minds, we don't think we have it at all. Okay? Because we know eventually we're going to take control of everything that affects our lives. First level is you're unconsciously incompetent. What's the next level? When you start moving the way you are this morning, you become consciously incompetent. Now you become aware of what you don't know. Oh, Lord, that's the right direction, isn't it? Once you become aware that there's a whole lot that I don't know, there's so much, my friends, I want to know about high finance. I want to hook up with somebody in accounting because there's so much I don't know about accounting. I love talking to this brother this morning because I want him to tell me something about real estate. I'm at least aware that I don't know now. Is that positive? Yes, sir. What's the next step? The next stage is you become consciously competent. Those are the folk who know what they need to do, and they are doing it. They haven't perfected it, but they know what they need to do, and they don't talk about it. They don't tell Jim Cleveland, I'll be there Saturday morning and I'll show up. The people who show up are at least now consciously what? Competent. They know what they got to do, and they're doing something. I don't like the word try, please. Never say we're going to try. Because what that is that's apologizing for failure in advance. Right? Don't ever just, please. So what? I'm not going to try to build a chamber. I'm going to build a chamber. I'm not going to try to get a multi-million-dollar endowment for Fisk University. I'm going to get a multi-million-dollar. Right. Boom. Got me? What's the highest level of confidence? We're becoming masters, ladies and gentlemen. As we become masters of our faiths, the highest level is when you become unconsciously competent. That means you are so good that you good without trying to be. That's the highest level, isn't it? How are we going to get there? Well, let's see. Next step. Jim, let me go over my time.
You take your time, bro.
My friends, this guy gave us a formula. Oh, you will see why it's happening the way it's happening. And we're going to turn this thing around so beautifully that everybody is going to be happy in the process. I'm talking about our people. No, there's no way I can believe that a good and a just God would allow the people who pray to him the most to get the least. Oh yeah, y'all pray to me a lot, so I'm going to give you nothing. All your money is his or hers. I'm not going to say God is man or woman. God is God. God is either male or female. We all made in the image and likeness of God, so God must have the qualities of both. I'm not getting that argument. I'm just trying to stop the male chauvinism before it gets started. Okay? IA plus AA times A equals IHP. My friends, we're going to bag this thing all the way down into the unconscious mind, okay? And to your self-concept. Because once you understand how it works, guess what? Nobody can ever stop you from becoming a master. All right. IA plus AA times A equals IHP. IA, innate attributes. That's what you were born with. See, when I said that there's genius in all of you, some folk thought, I think he's stretching a little bit because I know my grade point average when I left school. Listen. IA, everybody in this room came here with some special gift. True or false? True. Innate attributes, that's what you came to this planet with. Plus AA, acquired attributes. He didn't jump out of his mother's womb selling real estate. He had to learn that from somewhere. She didn't come here being concerned about the elderly. She had to learn. You got me? Okay. What you came here with, plus what you've acquired, notice this, you all. When you see this multiplication table here, it tells you something. 8 plus 8 gives me 16. I add it, no big deal. But if I want to find out what is 8 times 5,278,000, I got to multiply. Got me? When you see that multiplication table, you know the numbers are getting ready to jump real big, don't you? So what's happening here, they're added together, don't even come close to this little A sitting by itself. Innate attributes plus acquired attributes, what? Times attitude. Attitude. Oh Lord, we're going to find out where this whole thing comes from. Because when you can keep a positive mental attitude all day long, nobody can stop you from being a master.
Right.
Nobody. Y'all with me? Attitude. Attitude. Your attitude will make the difference. Your attitude is why some people will tell themselves when they get up in the morning, I just can't do it. Somebody else will get up with broken legs, with a headache, pregnant, with nothing going for them and say, I got to do it. Attitude. It's just attitude. It's attitude. It's the reason that some of these brothers and sisters against all odds are already on Wall Street and they came from the housing projects. And some other middle-class black kids are strung out on drugs. It's attitude.
Yes, sir.
Let's find out where attitude comes from. Are we all right?
Yes.
Let's find out where it comes from. Attitude. Your attitude, first of all, comes from your, oh Lord, here we go, expectations. Let's pick on somebody, okay? This woman right here looks so innocent, I think I'll pick on her. Jean. Oh, Jean, this is your day. Jean, you have a rich uncle that you never met. You didn't even know he existed. He lives in Philadelphia. Lived, dies. And somebody discovers that you are the only person that he knew he was related to. He never saw you, but he heard about it. And he was worth $1.5 million. So he told somebody, his lawyers, look, you get in touch with that young lady over there in Cincinnati because I'm going to leave my money to my blood. You got me? Yeah, we're going to get this net worth thing going on. You never heard of it. But you get a phone call. You work anywhere?
Yes.
Okay. At your job? Okay, you get a phone call. Somebody says, you ain't gonna believe this, but you're a millionaire. Who is this on his phone? Somebody that's fooling around. Huh? Are you with me? You're not gonna believe it. And then the boss at the job comes in and says, we had a phone call from the, what is it, 3/5? What's the name of the bank here, y'all?
3/5.
Somebody from that bank calls and says, listen, a safe deposit box has been opened in your name and it's an inheritance thing. You might want to get down here today. Now you start to believe, aren't you? And then somebody else who lives in Philadelphia who found out they knew somebody who knows you here, they called you and said, listen, I don't know you, but you might want to get over to the bank. Now you start to believe it, aren't you? Y'all, when she starts to believe it, her heart starts to pound a little bit. Me? Wait a minute, hold on. Oh, Lord, I hope these people ain't lying to me, right? Her heart starts to believe, that does, while she's getting dressed, huh? And then she's at work, she's ready to take a long break. True or false? Because now you're going to find out if it's true, aren't you? And as she starts to get herself together and starts moving towards that bank, guess what? She notices that her, what? That's right, it goes up, the tension goes up, everything, As she gets closer to the bank, her sense of expectation gets stronger, true or false? Oh, Lordy, yeah. Well, where does expectation come from? I know most folks aren't going to get 101.5.